Hello, I'm TheNerdySteve, and welcome to my movie review channel. If you like what you see, I'd appreciate you pressing that subscribe button. Today, I will be reviewing A Complete Unknown in one take. So, let's go. Okay, I have a confession. I went into this movie not being able to name a single Bob Dylan song. I know, I know. I'm just bad with music. But during the movie, I was able to recognize basically everything that was sung. So, please forgive me. Anyway, let's get back to the movie. The acting in A Complete Unknown was wonderful. Now, I couldn't tell you how accurate the representations of the people in this film are, and I don't really care how authentic it was. This is an important factor for some people, but not me. Maybe the point of a biopic is to be as true as possible. I don't know. For me, if I want the truth, I'll watch a documentary. For a movie, I want a film that those involved in the project deemed good enough. I've enjoyed completely inaccurate depictions of real life people before, and have hated syllable for syllable accurate ones. Regardless, I loved what I saw in A Complete Unknown, and that's what matters here. What I experienced on screen was more than good enough for me. Timothee Chalamet was excellent. He has this almost effortless and weightless confidence that I found very disarming. There's such a fine line where it teeters on arrogance, but it never crossed it, so I was kind of always on his side. Edward Norton as Pete Seeger is kind of Dylan's mentor in this movie. He does a great job of being that father figure struggling with the idea that this artist you've helped nourish and cultivate becomes something that might be growing out of your control. Monica Barbaro does a lovely job of giving Joan Baez this guarded strength. Someone who is hurt but won't be worn down. Someone who sees Dylan as the genius he is, but also won't let him cross her boundaries. She has this quiet, formidable quality that's really beautiful. Barbaro also creates a wonderful distinction between Baez's onstage and offstage persona. While I knew A Complete Unknown was a biopic about a musician, I was completely surprised by how much singing there was in this movie. And that isn't a complaint. Almost feels like more than half of this movie was filled with songs. I applauded the acting before, but I also need to applaud the performances, and by that I mean the actual singing. You ever watch a musical and go, how'd this make the final cut? I won't name names, but so often there's one or two songs or actors that are on another level than the rest. Well, that doesn't happen here. Everyone is just so freaking phenomenal. It was very impressive. My biggest criticism of A Complete Unknown is the overall plot. Now, this might be obvious. I don't know or care how accurate this story is, but I think it's fairly obvious the writer and director James Mangold didn't want this to be a melodrama or turn Dylan's story into something like that. But I think the film is kind of lacking an overall conflict. Dylan kind of gets everything he wants when he wants it, and when something does go astray, he kind of just shrugs it off. Walk the Line, a musical biopic about Johnny Cash, is a much more complicated story. It is one of my favorite biopics of all time, and part of that is the conflict and drama it has. Maybe it's just that Cash's life was more complex. Maybe Cash's relationship with June was more intricate than any of Dylan's relationships. I don't know. It's not that A Complete Unknown was boring and aimless, right? It told a complete story. It was just missing a little through line to keep me more engaged with the film. If the main character doesn't seem to be affected by anything, why should I? And obviously he is, but I wanted more. I feel it could have focused or prioritized one or two relationships instead of giving us glimpses into 7 or 8. Overall, I enjoyed my time with The Complete Unknown. I found it very entertaining, but I wish I found it more compelling. If you're a fan of Bob Dylan, music in general, biopics, or anyone involved, it's worth the watch. I'm glad I did. I'm the Nerdy Steve, and thank you so much for watching. And as always, like and subscribe and comment below to tell me how right or wrong you think I am. Have a wonderful morning, evening, or afternoon, wherever you are. Bye.